All right. So, show of hands, who has heard of evergreen content? No? Okay. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Evergreen. So what is evergreen content? It's a good question. And why do we want it? Number one, evergreen content basically is content that lives on, like it's forever green. Okay, so it's working while you're not. So these are why we want it. We can be sleeping, be reaching people, closing sales, whatever it is. It's basically working smarter, not harder. Okay. And so I mentioned before, like, even if you don't have, like, we'll use Mandy as an example, even if you're not a holistic nutritionist, you do have content to create, okay? You do have that niche. You just have to figure out what you need to figure out. If you want to write this down, who are you speaking to? Directly, who are you speaking to? And that's the number one thing you need to figure out. So if you're like me, or even Mary, or even, most of us, we're speaking to multiple people. We're speaking to multiple niches, right? But what we really want to do is get really clear on who we're speaking to in this specific scenario. So we can have multiple niches, but we're going to have to create multiple content. Does that make sense? So, like, for example, I created the Birth, Babies, and Beyond Masterclass series. That's evergreen content, okay? But in that masterclass series, I'm only speaking to birth, like moms, like literal moms, or birth keepers, like midwives or people like that, okay? But if we're speaking to, if we're creating a like evergreen, funnel, if you want to call it a funnel, and we're speaking to everybody, that doesn't serve anybody. It's kind of like in our classes, right? We really have to ask people, why are you here, right? But another example is like, I have that one. I have that one speaking to the moms, the birthing moms, right? And then I have one I'm creating one that's for yoga instructors. Okay, so there's another one speaking only to yoga instructors. And then there's another one speaking to yoga practitioners. Okay, so these are all simple things that we can create. So say your niche was moms, okay, because that's another one of my niches, right? And it's all of ours, basically. But we can create content that's specifically speaking for the moms, and maybe it's like repetition of some other things we do, like the Facebook parties or the class we teach. And that's okay, because people like different avenues, right? So someone might enjoy and might come into your email list, right? Building your list is a really good idea. You might come into building your email list or into your email list through this avenue, and then they would like to receive that masterclass, that mom's masterclass series, or whatever it is, right? So whatever you want to call it. But I mean, does anyone have any questions so far on what it kind of is? You guys kind of understand what I'm talking about a little bit? Okay. So I'm going to kind of give you the general flow of what a funnel is for those of you that are kind of new to funnels. Is anyone really new to, like, what is a funnel? And, like, no shame at all. Okay, Shameen, that's awesome. Okay, so funnel is basically like a lead, like a way to build your email list. Okay, that's just how I describe it. So why do we want to build our email list? Some people are not on Facebook. A lot more people are moving off of Facebook. And also, Facebook doesn't show people our things all the time. Does that make, like, you guys get that, right? Like, Facebook determines who sees what and when, which I don't like, right? And so building an email list is a really good idea. So a funnel is basically like, you can have a lead magnet, you can have something for free, like a free, if you had created this masterclass series, you could, one option is to charge for it, right? You can charge for it. Okay. Maybe your lead magnet to get people to sign up onto that email list, maybe is a free ebook that you've created. You can create them for free on Canva or various other platforms, relatively simply, okay? So that free ebook, people, maybe you've seen this when you're scrolling through Facebook, maybe you've seen an ad or something, but basically people click on the thing to get the free ebook and they have to give their email. Okay, from there, they've then joined your email list, and you can market your your masterclass series or whatever you create to them for a price. Okay, that's one way to do it. The way I did though is because I want eyeballs on my stuff. I don't care who sees my things, right? My masterclass for the birth babies and beyond, I gave that away for free. So people, when they join my list through a landing page, which I'll show you, and then once they're on my list, it fires off the emails automatically when I tell it to. Okay, so basically the flow is for the birth babies and beyond is they join my list by dropping their email. Right away, my email thing sends off an email saying, thanks for joining my list. This is really exciting. Watch this short video to prepare you for what's to come next in the series. And it's basically like a 7-minute video. Some of you guys have probably subscribed to that. The only really downside of doing an email campaign stuff through like a carrier, I don't know what that's called, like Flodesk or MailChimp or those guys, is your emails go into your promotions folder. So I haven't figured out a way around that. I think if you personalize the email, so you'll have an option to add in the person's name, and the computer will actually do it if they're loaded into your audience list properly. They'll take their first name, and instead of just saying, hey, welcome into the masterclass series, it's like, hey, Jane, welcome into the masterclass series. And I think that might get out. Do you know, Mary?
I don't know if it's the same in Flodesk, but I know in MailChimp, like I watched this YouTube video and it shows you how to authenticate the email address that it's coming from. Anyway, it's nothing that you'll ever figure out how to do in your own, like YouTube it, honest to God. But apparently it's super helpful in like getting into their inbox.
Okay, that's a good thing. I'm going to take a note on that. Authenticate your email. Alrighty. I didn't even know that was a word.
Yeah, it's like this code you have to get from somewhere and put it into somewhere else. And I'm like, I never, ever would have figured this out on my own.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. Okay, so Robin says, I still haven't gotten any of the baby stuff. Maybe I need to try and register again. Did you search my email in your email? Supernatural.doTERRA in your promotions and everything? Okay, maybe I have your email wrong. Do you get my other emails? You're muted, but
I get all the Team Natural stuff, like any of the newsletters, but I just haven't gotten any of the baby stuff.
Weird. All right, I'll look into that. Thank you. I'll see if it's sent or what's going on. So generally, like what I can show you guys is, well, first of all, we need to decide who we're speaking to, what we're going to create. Okay, and then I'm going to share a couple examples, and I actually had some ideas yesterday that I shared with Mary that I wanted to kind of bounce off you guys as well. And this is something like you guys can do as a team, like Mary's team could do, okay? So basically, like the flow is that first email fires off as soon as they join your list, and then maybe once you give it a 7-day delay or a 6-day or 3-day or whatever, you can do the next day if you want. For me, it's the first one fires off, and then the next day, my first in the series fires off to them. And they watch it. I can see the analytics if they watch it or if they don't, if they open the email, what they click on. And then I have a 7-day delay, and then the next one comes. Because me as a mom, I know my niche is busy, right? And they're not going to have time to watch an hour video, take all their notes, learn all the things, and then watch another one tomorrow, right? So I chose to do a 7-day delay. So it's like a 4-week masterclass series. Okay, saying that, with a time delay like that, you do lose some people. But anyway, that's the basic gist of it. But how I chose to set mine up is that after every masterclass, like in the series, every section, I have offerings. Like at the end, I'm like, okay, and here's a summary. Here is a list of items that I would suggest. This is what I would have in my birth bag, just for example. And here's the starter packages that I would suggest if you're new to doTERRA. Okay, and then I dropped the bit.ly link to my Spark page, my Adobe Spark, that has my you guys know what Adobe Spark is, right? And then on there it shows, check out Mary's or Robin's. It's a good idea to have something more than your doTERRA page, okay? Because even when people are interested in oils and I'm working for time freedom, right? I want to be able to be sitting on the beach and someone's like, oh, tell me about your oils, or I'm interested in getting a package of oils. I just want to send them my bit.ly link to my Spark page that explains all the things. And it's like, there's 3 ways to purchase doTERRA. Takes them through. These are my most popular starter packages. Click here to purchase, click here if you're out of Canada, that sort of thing. So I would highly recommend looking into Adobe Spark. It's free. Check out Mary's or Robin's for sure, and see if that suits you for sure. Okay, so let's talk about MailChimp and Flodesk, and I can kind of show you the logistics of setting it up. First of all, find who you're speaking to, what you're going to create. But the second thing is what's the difference between Flodesk and MailChimp is MailChimp is free, but it's only, there's lots of limitations. So the free one will get you so far, but after the free one, you're paying, okay? And in my opinion, you're paying more than you would for Flodesk, okay? But Flodesk is not free. They're in beta testing right now, and I have a code for 50% off, so it's $19 US a month, which, I mean, depending on how much you're gonna get into this and how much you want to kind of take the reins on, like, you know, welcome emails for your team and things like that. Like, there's so much you can do, depending on, I guess, also where you want to go with doTERRA and what you foresee happening in the next year even, right? But so Mary uses MailChimp. Does anyone have experience with either of these, MailChimp or Flodesk?
I really don't have experience with it. I like have my emails in there and I haven't done anything with it. So I'm really not tied to it. It's just the free one.
Yeah.
If I can easily take those emails and import them into Flodesk, I'll probably just go with that. Yeah,
totally. Mary, have you or Mandy, have you had experience with either of those?
I've signed up for MailChimp. I'm working on a cookbook right now that I was going to offer out for free. But I haven't, like, I've just played around a little bit. I haven't really experienced this. That was and transfer over from one to another. If, you know, I started with MailChimp and wanted to go into Flodesk, or?
Yeah, you can. You totally can. You just need to figure out how to copy, like, create what's it called? CSV, a spreadsheet. You just copy all the emails and paste it into a spreadsheet in Google Drive, and then download it as a CSV or a CVS. Can't remember which one it is. Upload it to Flodesk. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, I logged into MailChimp this morning because I was like, okay, I just want to go back in and see like how it is, and they've changed everything. They've upgraded everything. The premise is still kind of there. So what if I from here just screen share with you guys and just kind of show you around. So this is Flodesk and this is MailChimp. Welcome back. I haven't been in here since a long time, but it's basically like they have this similar thing going on. The only thing was the pricing with Flodesk, or sorry, with MailChimp is what I was looking at. I was just trying to find it for you guys because here we go, maybe. So upgrade now. Here we go. Because they blocked, that's why I moved over, is because they blocked me, because I like to have a lot of different like sections and different audience lists, and I have a lot of things going on, and so they had already capped me, and I don't even have on this one, I have like under 500, maybe 600-ish people, and so I'm like, I don't want to pay this, but it's like, you've hit this plan's audience. They want me to pay $300 a month. Okay, so I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. Flodesk will never like, they'll never change their price. Once you're in at 19, you're in at 19. Okay, so it also, like, it charges you, like, if you go over, like, so many emails too. They also, like, they're like, you can only do 2,000 contacts and so many emails per month. But anyway, this is MailChimp. I'm going to show you guys the basics of setting up a funnel. Is basically what you want. Number one is you need a landing page. So what that is I'm just going through because I don't actually know what they're called on this one, but it's all, here we go, automations. So automations is basically, with Flodesk, you have workflows. You have your audience I'll show you how unorganized I am in my audiences. Emails is something that I don't love, and you guys, like Mary, you know all about my love for the monthly, what's it called, newsletter. And that's probably something that I will hire out eventually, right? And we can keep that in mind too, but having something started, right? So these are all my like audiences. And if you go into, let's see, continuing education, for example, these are all the people who have subscribed to continuing education. And you can also see like which other audiences they're in. So essentially what that is they're different lists. Okay, so if I go into my audience, I can see the segments, and these are different lists. Okay, so when you're creating a funnel, for example, I've got a list for the supernatural birth, babies, and beyond. Okay, and so number one, what you want to do is create a new list. I'm just going to show you on here. Okay. So you need your new segments, and then what you're going to do is you go into forms. And so forms is the landing page. This is what people see when they put their email in. Okay, so these are some of mine that I've created. Let's create a new one. But like another idea I had like is you guys, I always do the full page, customize it, and then see how I have to do my segment, because when they fill in their information, it's going to drop them into this audience. Okay, save. And so now I can customize it. It's relatively simple. You know, it's super duper simple, but let's just go next. And then double opt-in is basically, have you ever subscribed to something and then you get an automatic email right away asking you to put your email again, or like confirm that you want to be on their list? Has anyone ever had that happen? Yeah, so that's something that you can choose to do, and maybe that, I mean, maybe that would help them get their eyeballs on it. I'm not sure, but you can completely customize that, or you can just say no. Once they said yes one time, I'm good for that. Don't notify me if people subscribe. And then that. Okay, so there's my form. So that's ready to go. Okay, so when you're creating content, this is cool because what you can do here. Okay, so Mandy, you're telling us about your funnel idea that you had?
Sorry, Mary just asked me if I was incorporating oils into it, and that was a big, long explanation. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you totally should, because, I mean, yeah, okay, let's talk about this first, and then let's come back to that. So once you are creating, like you have this idea, what I have done in the past, and continue to do actually, which I don't know if it's good or bad for me, just because I have like other priorities at the moment, but create the form and then start the process, start building your list. And what that does is I don't have any content created right now. Say this was my, my yoga instructor one. I don't have any of this created, but I have the form, so I can start sending it out to yoga instructors and offering it around, and maybe you create some graphics and things. And then that fires you to get to work and process and create the content. Okay, so that's one way to do it too. You don't have to sit and wait until you have all the content created. You can create it in your own time. And this kind of forces you to do it a little bit quicker. So then there you go, you would pass that along, and it just takes people right to that sign up form. So once you have that sign up form, what you're gonna do to create your workflow, my computer's slow. So here's a few of my workflows. You can start a new one, new workflow. And I always just start from scratch because I don't like templates, but that's just me. They have some pretty good templates too. So test begins when, and so this is a workflow is basically, this is in essence the funnel, okay? So the test, this funnel fires off when people join what list? Okay, so a subscriber is added to that list. Okay, so see how that happens? As soon as they put their email in that thing, that form, it's added to that list, and then it's ready to go. And then what you can do here is like what's the next step? So they're added to the list. Like I told you, I send an email off right away that like, welcome to the list, doody-doo. And what you do is I like to duplicate an email first versus creating a new one. So say I was, you know, you can also just click on any of these. I can do that right now. But let's just go and show you how to make an email first. Okay, so that'll sit there as a draft. Okay. So what I like to do when I'm creating any sort of workflow is that I have emails built over here. Okay, so all you do is you can start from scratch, or you can choose some other stuff, and same thing. And it's pretty basic. You can add in your own branding. Okay. Cool. So this is a basic like a blank email. And so what you would do is start like you have your list and it's starting to grow because you have your Flodesk, your link, right, to that list. Okay. And so what you're doing here is you're creating the email or creating the content in your own time. It's pretty intuitive. Like you just click on things. If you want to add a video, got your video. If you upload your videos to YouTube, then you can drop your YouTube link there. It goes there. You can add your Instagram like I always like to do. I've just linked my Instagram directly to it. So it goes right there. I don't know. I mean, I just find this really intuitive, right? And really, you know, an image there. You can upload images. Like it's all basic. I have mine all organized and then I do my signature. Like, does anyone have any questions so far? You can see how it doesn't take very long. You can shrink it. There we go. Buttons. You just put your links in there and you can edit this, whatever you want it to say. I mean, and this is branded too. So once you add your logo one time as a image, it'll stick it in there every time. Cool. Any questions on this? So say I saved this. Okay. You choose who it's coming from. I can save this. It automatically saves, which I also really like. So there's our test email. If we go back into our workflows, I can actually add that email. So say it was ready to go. That was my first, like my welcome to the list. Watch this short video or whatever. There we go, making a copy and it's adding it to there. Okay. And so then you choose what comes next. I do a time delay. I do 7 days. You can choose whatever you like. Let me move that. Okay. So there we go, 7 days. And then you can add another email again. And it asks you if you want to create a new one or duplicate an email. I just create a new one because if let's exit this off. If I save this, I can save this and publish it. Publish now. So it's already working. People who join the list are getting that first email that we just created. Okay. And so if I go into edit, it's going to pause the workflow, which I don't really want to do. So what I do is I go in and create the email first, the next one in the series, and then I pause the workflow, add it in, and press go again. Okay. So does anyone have questions on Flodesk? Like, I know it's pretty intuitive, but you just need to play with it. Let's talk about a couple ideas and then we'll screen share and see what we can do with MailChimp here. So one idea I had yesterday, me and Mary were kind of jamming back and forth, and I was like, well, we're both yoga instructors. We both have very different kind of styles and different energy about us, which we all do. And I was like, why don't we, tag team together and do a funnel together? And so what that basically would mean is like, what if we did our first video together? This is for you guys. If you guys find you have natural, even you could do anyone, cross-line, whoever. I've also seen like different masterclass series done with like different professionals. Have you ever had that where you subscribe to something and there's different people doing all the videos? So basically, say me and Mary did the first one together and we're like, hey, welcome to like da-da-da, my name's Jocelyn. And Mary's like, my name's Mary. Like and we go through like our email, our welcome email together. And then maybe Mary does the first one and she's like, okay, today I'm going to share with you why you want to use essential oils as a yoga instructor, right? And then I do the second video, but we both create our own funnel, okay? So what that's doing, in my perspective, is it's showing community. It's showing that I'm not just this like lone ranger out here with my flag, right? I have Mary as one of my awesome partners, right? And she's, you know what I mean? It's kind of just like includes a little bit more. So what about if like, this is what I mentioned to Mary yesterday, was, you know how we do our Facebook parties? We could set that up in a funnel. Like, why not, right? How easy is that? And have that going through. So the first video is just like we do, like 3 cool things about essential oils. Maybe we did our welcome video together and we're like, hey, I'm Jocelyn. Hey, I'm Mary. Hey, I'm Robin. Like, da-da-da. You go through all the people and say, we're here to show you, like, I don't know, that's just an idea, but that kind of would be cool to receive that versus just one person. And then it's a lot less work. So for example, Mandy maybe does the nutrition day and talks about if we're doing like I don't know, it's just an idea, but it's just like a seed that I know each of you will think of your own things to add into it too. Does anyone want to share or add anything?
I was totally just going to suggest, like, could we do this with the study? Because I have this one girl who I think would be really awesome to be part of the business someday, but she's just not on Facebook and just isn't going to get on Facebook. But I could get her lots of information. I wanted her to do the study so bad, but she's just not willing to get Facebook.
We could totally do it. We could do anything through email. And I used to be really like, you know, I was like, oh, someone's on Facebook, I don't even know how to educate them, you know, but you can create anything through this. You can create your own little, you know, and that love oils thing is also awesome too, right? For education. Mm-hmm. Totally.
Well, it's like you say, it's evergreen, right? So we create a study and it just like pops out to whoever we need or want. We've only had to create that once. We don't every month have to go back and redo it and redo it and redo it.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to have a few of these kind of different things we could offer people depending on their personality and kind of what they're into.
Yeah, totally. And so what are we going to do with this? People who might be feeling like you live in a small town and everybody and their dog has oils. Maybe you might be feeling like that. Like, this is a way to get super clear on your niche and contact people that you might not even know and offer this, right? Once you build that relationship. Like I said, like, I'll just use me as an example again, but the Birth Babies and Beyond Masterclass, I've been, you know, following, nurturing relationships with midwives, birth keepers, doulas, and also moms, right, through Instagram. And so I put it all over my Instagram. I share it in my stories every few days. I mention it in posts that are relevant. But then I also have been building relationships with these girls. And so I offer it when it comes up in conversation, like, I'm wondering what I would use oils for with my my newborn baby. I'm like, why don't you check out my masterclass? Free. Here's the link. Okay, so this is how we're getting out of our market so easily. And I mean, when I do videos, I try to like build relationships, be funny, and kind of like just open and kind of not super professional, like in a white, you know, I don't know, everything's perfect kind of just makes me cringe a little bit personally. So I think like that's not attractive for me. So that's not going to be attractive for my person that I'm speaking to, right? So, yeah, I mean, like even yoga. So the yoga one, just using that as an example, or even the nutritionist one, Mandy, you can offer this to practitioners anywhere in the world as a little gift. So we were talking specifically to the yoga world. What if you had other teachers that you knew of that were doing teacher training or that were doing retreats? What if you wanted to give them a gift? Hey, I would like to give you a free masterclass series for your students. It teaches them how to utilize essential oils in their practice alone and how to incorporate them into their teaching. Okay, hopefully you have some sort of communication and some sort of relationship built with that person that you're offering it to. But how cool is that? Instead of saying, you know, unfortunately, we cannot travel very easily to go to retreats and be guest speakers or go to places and offer classes and workshops or whatever it is, but we can do it through email like this. Kind of cool, right? So speaking of, like, you know, Mandy's cookbook, okay, so it's a meal planning website for recipes. Is that what you're creating? Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so I have this meal planning service, the template that I subscribe to, and it just creates these beautiful cookbooks and meal plans, and I can personalize it with my own branding and all of that. So depending on, because I do work normally, like people come to me and they've been dealing with digestive issues or hormone issues or something like that for probably the majority of their life. Usually there's some kind of like more specific protocols dietary wise that they're looking for. So the one that because I just did those 30 days of tips, I was just going to do like a hormone friendly cookbook. So like some seed cycling blends and, like, you know, focus on some of the ingredients that that I would recommend for those types of things. So I don't know, Mary had asked if I was going to use oils in my recipes. Because the recipes are basically already made, I can modify them. I don't know if I can plug any oils into them, because I'll probably do like you know, chia pudding and stuff like that in there. I'm going to see if I can do that. I'll play around with it when I go into it next time again, because I know I can, like, I do customize the recipes for people, but I don't know if I can add oils in.
I have an idea, just to pause you there for a sec. So if you had, say, a hormone recipe book, that's one funnel. Okay, you're building a list and you would name it hormones. Okay, the next funnel is maybe, what's another one that you would focus on?
Well, I just did say in that comment as well, I've been listening to some different protocols of people who are like nutritionists who specifically who work with doTERRA and who have you know, protocols for people who have thyroid issues or things like that. So that's another thing that I could. Yeah,
so what you could do, like, just what comes to my mind is that you would have these different sections, different audiences, and then you'd market these offerings to these different audiences because you know it's their pain point. So for example, you write up a simple email and say, you know, for your hormone list, maybe you offer, I like a drip kind of thing, as long as you know their eyeballs are on it. That's the tricky thing, but you can see that through the analytics. So if they're looking at it and you're offering, maybe you give them that cookbook, and then a week later or even a few days, I don't like super close, I think that gets annoying, but say even a week later, you're like, hey Jill, I'm just checking in, see if you got a chance to check out your free cookbook. If not, here's the link again. I just wanted to send you a couple other hormone friendly recipes, or, you know, whatever it is that I thought might suit you. And maybe they have to do with essential oils as well. Like, that's where your essential oils come in. And maybe it's a roller blend to do with, if it's the thyroid list, you're giving them a roller blend thing. And with an option there to link to maybe your Calendly or other free online calendar things. And you're like, you know, book a free consultation, a free 15-minute consultation with me through this link if you want to learn more. And so that's where you're like full circling it. And maybe it's not just an essential oil consultation, it's a hormone consultation, right? Nutrition consultation that has oils in it. And like you just have to think of like, what's the outcome that I want? Like, what do I want to lead these people towards? And is it oils primarily, or it's obviously probably your nutrition packages and coaching like that? And oils fit so well in because they just do, right? They're just such a sweet support tool. I mean, that's just what comes to mind. And you can kind of have just different lists. And then maybe on the third email you send to those people, It's like, hey, I have a free webinar on this day at this time, specifically surrounding healthy hormones and nutrition, and incorporating essential oils into your daily regime to support all of the above. Cool, right? Could be awesome. And so that's evergreen. Like, you are growing your list through that platform, but you have multiple littler lists, right?
Yeah.
I have a question. How are you sending them, like, where are you sending them to purchase their oils? Are you sending them right directly to your doTERRA page, or do you have a new thing set up, like your own way of getting them to pay?
Spark. No, Spark. I just use my Adobe Spark page with buttons. Yeah, that's what goes in. Like, I've just created Bitly links through that. And so again, it's not just the same Spark page though, because I want to speak directly to the person that's gone through that funnel, right? So for the moms ones, I just duplicated my Spark page and I changed to the top. Hey mamas, or hey mama, I know it's blah, 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 you know, I'm speaking directly to them instead of that broad kind of, but that's just me personally, right?
But when they actually purchase the oils that you suggested, are they purchasing through Spark, or are they purchasing through doTERRA?
No, I have my short links on there.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll just and I also, like, it's tricky because when you're working with multiple countries, but I'll show you what I did really quick here. This is my older one. Hold on. 1 second.
Do you remember when we made that Spark page, Robin? You just like, it's like you're creating the link generators and then you put that in there.
Oh yeah, I know. So that means it's going to doTERRA. It's just when I was doing the Kajabi training, you had a choice to either set up your own private payment station or send them to doTERRA, and they both had their own like positives and negatives. So I was just curious which one you were doing.
No, that's next level. Like, that's when you need to start paying for things more than not. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's when I would have to create a e-commerce page or a website with e-commerce. And I'm like, I don't even have a website, man. I'm using free Adobe Spark, which is so funny, but okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna, it's loading. Okay. Anyway, does anyone have anything, any other things you kind of want to jam on, or does anyone not feel like they have a niche or like something to even create or share? Just let's talk about it. That's what we're here for.
What are you shaking your head at, Shamim?
Overwhelmed. No, I'll get somewhere eventually.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you this quick, and then we'll talk about that, Shamim. So you can create Spark pages for anything, and it's free, and I love how beautiful they are. This is my Get Started, the Birth Babies and Beyond one. Like, and I can see who sees it too, which is good. This one's brand new, and it's only at the end of my pages, like my videos. What's going on here? Good to do. Okay, it's not working. Anyway, reload it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Adobe Spark's awesome. So anyway, I'll do this one more time and then let's talk about that. So Shamim, who do you feel like you're talking to primarily?
As many people as I can find. No, I guess moms, like just people, I don't know.
Totally. No, it's true, but moms are, it's a good niche, but I think that getting even more clear, like get out a list and like get out a piece of paper and write out like what are her traits? What is she, you know, even where does she live? What does she like to do? Where does she spend her free time? What are her interests? How many kids does she have? Those sorts of things. Like, it sounds kind of crazy, but like you need to, it's a really good idea to get clear on that. And then when you're doing anything like teaching classes or like if you're presenting anything online or even typing up content to share on your social media, it's basically like you're sitting down for coffee with that woman and you're speaking to her. So what does she need? What are her issues, right? And primarily, like I heard this from Aunt Peters, who's a double diamond. She's like, your person that you're speaking to is generally you 2 years ago. So I don't know if this rings true for everyone, but it's just something to think about, right? Like, where were you, and where have it, even from the beginning of your doTERRA journey, where'd you come from, right? How were you then? And speaking to that woman who maybe needed, I don't even know, like if it was digestive support or needed something to do, that's who I would speak to, right? And so we try to speak to everyone sometimes, and we try to talk to everyone and speak to everyone's language so that everyone likes us. I don't know if this is, I'm not saying that you do, but this is what I used to do, right? Right? And so then when we do that, we literally just like dim our own self and speak to no one. I would rather say something that might, like, you know, make my list smaller, people unsubscribing. So I get more clear on who I'm speaking to, right? I don't know why this isn't working, you guys, but you guys know Adobe works.
I have to pop off in a second, but just a quick example like that before you were saying about moms, like I know for myself, because I have a daughter who's like preteen and her friends are starting to go through puberty and stuff like that. So that's more like I'm talking to moms with that, like kids who are starting to go through mood swings, kids are starting to have maybe acne, stuff like that. That's a kind of, just as an example, more like specific niche within that niche.
Exactly. So where are you as a mom is also a good one, right? Like, of course, just having a new baby, I'm speaking a lot to moms that are pregnant right now, right? And just have a baby. So hopefully that helps. But I mean, there's always content to create. Even if you don't think you have a niche, like right now, that's totally fine. So here's my Spark. See how it shows people there are 3 ways to purchase. Keep scrolling. This is super easy to set up. And then you guys, I have my pre-automated or my pre-made links for Canada and the States. And then I have like different countries down here because I work with people all over. There we go. Okay, so let's, just to close it off, let's give an example of maybe someone who wants to create a funnel that feels like they don't have a niche per se. Maybe it's moms, okay? So what you're gonna do, what I would do is break down a class, right? So just keep it super simple. I mean, perfection is an illusion, right? It really is. And if we don't start somewhere, we're not gonna start. We'll never finish either, right? So maybe what you do is you have your welcome little video of, hey, my name is Shamim. Like, this is my story. This is why I got into essential oils. This is why I'm so passionate about sharing these gifts, you know. I'm excited for you to catch the next video. It should be in your inbox tomorrow morning. And so then the next one is, hey, welcome back. Let's talk about the 3 cool things about essential oils today. Break it down, because not everyone, especially moms, have, see you later, Mandy, have an awesome day. Not, especially moms, don't have a lot of time, right? A lot of time to sit there. And like I said, there's different avenues. So this won't speak everyone's language. Some people would prefer to sit in their chair with their tea for an hour and listen to a class, live or on the recording. Some people don't have time for that. And some people would rather receive an email once a week with a broken down or every few days. Okay, so that's the first one, 3 cool things. Second email, hey, welcome back, it's me again. Let's talk about the 3 ways we use the oils. Okay, and then there you go, keep it short. And then the next one, okay, so you've learned this, this, and this so far. Let's talk about a few of my favorite oils and why I think, you know, why I'm sharing this with you, or why I think you need to know these ones, or whatever. And speak on maybe five of the most used oils for moms in your perspective, speaking directly to your niche. And then the next video, why doTERRA? The humanitarian aspect, but speak from your heart, not reading things. This is why I love doTERRA. Okay, and then what I would do after that is, on the last video, is do a story, like find someone's success story, and And so what you do is I would say like do the 3 pathways, like listen, I don't know, it's up to you. I'm kind of rambling here, just thinking of ideas on the spot, but maybe what you do is on that last video, that second to last video, honestly, is you show them how to buy and why. And then maybe like right before you show them how to buy, tell them your most powerful testimonials, just like we do in a class, right? Share your big testimonial of why people need oils. Show them how to buy, and then share on the last video, maybe you do like the last one is the 3 pathways, and then a testimonial story on someone's life being hugely changed by this business opportunity. Okay, so there you go. I think we have like 5 or 6 emails. And so, and you just let it like that. And they're on your list, so they can unsubscribe at any time, right? And so once they're on your list and they've gone through that drip, the ones that don't enroll right there, maybe you drip content to them once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, and it's just educating them. Maybe you do a new class with the promotions each month, and you include it in an email along with some fun recipes or whatever else is going on, right? Trying to make it fun and seasonal. Cool?
Oh, yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things we can do with this. It's just the outline of doing it. So, I mean, we can take a look at MailChimp, but I do know there's a ton on YouTube that shows us how to go through and how to create these things. So MailChimp generally has the similar stuff as Flodesk. Like you're creating, they just use different words. You're creating, that's the concept, is you're creating these workflows or these drip series. It's like a series. You're creating an audience list. You're creating that landing page for people to go to sign up form. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? I know that was a lot of rambling and information.
You know what would be a cool one for us to do together is some of the symphony of the cells. Like actually doing the treatment.
That could be cool. I don't even know. I haven't looked too much into Symphony of the Cells, to be honest. I really want to. I want to get their book first. Yeah, so does everyone have an idea of like what you're going to set up if you're going to set up a flow? Robin, do you know what you're going to set up?
A bunch of different ideas, but I'll probably start with the one you just mentioned to Shamim, like just doing the 3 cool things and stuff like that, just to start. But I'm also going to start doing classes every Monday night. Yeah, so that'll be something in my email.
There you go, and you can just add it in there. By the way, here's the link to my Monday night classes. That's fantastic. And I think yeah, the sky's the limit. You can do as many as you want, right? And as long as one mistake, I'll add this, do not add in promotions. I did that if it's evergreen, it's evergreen, it's always going. And so I did that on one of my videos that was like an hour long. At the end, I added in my promotions and I was like, oh my gosh, because now it's still going and it's not that month anymore. So don't do that. But yeah, anything else I wanted to add? Let's see.
I think it's just a matter of jumping in and doing it, because you can sit around and think about it all day long, but it's never going to really get you anywhere. So I think, yeah, I think I might just try and go with Flodesk and get it of MailChimp. I mean, like I've been subscribed to that forever and I've never done anything with it. Obviously it's not resonating with me. Flodesk seems much more, I don't know.
It looks more user-friendly.
Yeah.
I feel the same. And I think it's beautiful. Like the emails are really simple, modern, clean. Put the promotion code that you need to get the $19 in the business group. I mean, it's like, I don't know, something supernatural anyway. Yeah, that sounds good, you guys. And like in the future, we look at doing a funnel together where we have that. Like I've seen, like I mentioned, I've seen like different practitioners do some masterclass series on like whatever it is. Maybe it's just like natural wellness, and you're the essential oil educator, and that's your part of the funnel. But maybe you have a physical trainer with that. Like this is just ideas that you can partner with other people and get into their niche, because you're all going to be creating your own funnel from it, right? This is something that was like on the back burner like 3 years ago with my upline. We were creating something kind of like that, but it just never came to fruition. It was a lot of talking. But thinking like, who else do you know that might not even be enrolled yet, right? Maybe they're trainers, they're nutritionists, they're yoga teachers too, they're all the things. But doing a masterclass nutrition, like up level your nutrition 2021 or something, you know what I mean? There's just so many ideas. So that could be an awesome way to get into other people's niches and other people's markets. I think personally for me, I'm going to be focusing on continuing with the birth babies and beyond, like harnessing and making connections with moms and all the things and offering that to them. But also through the yoga one is looking at where are retreats set up, even in Costa Rica here. I can't get there, but I can send them this as a gift to send to their participants, right?
I'm going to be honest, and like I really want to use your birth babies and beyond as something to get some of my friends that don't live in New Brunswick into the oils.
Totally. And so this good thing you mentioned that, Robin, because by Robin sharing my birth babies and beyond, does that mean I'm enrolling them? No. So anything that you create is benefiting your team as well, because all I say on those all of my things is I'm like, make sure you go back to whoever invited you to watch this. Got to make sure you say that, even if you don't have a team at the moment, right? And even if you're not sharing it at the moment, but if this is evergreen, make sure you go back and connect with the person, because they care about you. They want to support you. And chances are you'll still be connected to me because they're probably on my team, right? So that's awesome, because once we all create our own niche topic funnels, we can share them, right? We can work together and help each other out even more. Cool. That's a good one. And I'm always open to feedback too. Like, I'm not perfect. I just like, most of the time I like think of these ideas and start before I'm ready. And like, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like throwing pasta at the wall, sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay. But yeah. Okay, you guys. Does anyone have any questions? We're good. Okay.
I was gonna say, I think we should let's like set a date and actually create like an oil party one together. Let's just do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
Okay.
Why don't we practice this week making the videos for the actual party that we're doing online and not saying anything that can't be put into
There you go.
our little email one.
Let's just make the emails as we go, or the things as we go. That sounds awesome. Yeah, totally. Let's maybe what I'll do is I'll create a folder in the team design folder, and so we can kind of just, as we have our videos, chuck them in there, create sort of like a format and maybe a schedule of who's doing what, just to keep everything kind of flowing. Okay, that sounds awesome. I mean, yeah, and then we can all share it around. And I think for me, watching something that the same person presents with the same energy and all the things each class, kind of boring, right? But and also it's not as duplicatable. If I see someone, say I'm someone who's brand new, watching me present every single one, maybe I'm thinking like, I could never do what she does, just as an example, right? But maybe if we have some newer people and everybody's at different levels of teaching, confidence, all the things, maybe they see someone, they're like, oh, I can do that. You know, she's doing it and she's doing great and da-da-da, right? The thing that I don't know how to put it in, if we do a team funnel, is where do we tell our stories, or where do people learn more about us? Or do we just say like at the start of our video, our first, or if we only do one video, say, hey, I'm Jocelyn, I live in Costa Rica, I have 3 little kids, blah, 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 just like a 30-second story. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then maybe on our last video, if we do a last video where we have the 3 pathways and a success story, maybe that's where we can tell a little bit more.
For sure.
Cool. Cool. Shamim, you gonna be in? Sounds good.
Sounds good, but I'm nervous about it, but okay, we'll see.
Nervous is a good feeling. There's lots of growth there.
Well, you have to bear in mind, I'm new at this.
Totally. We all are to some degree. And I mean, there's also an opportunity. What about this? On one of the videos, when we do, if we do a day where we have like the top 5 oils or something, what if we, each of us, for example, I talk about lemon oil for like a certain amount of time, and then Shamim talks about peppermint oil for a certain amount of time, and we splice it together through iMovie and put it together. That could be awesome. So instead of one person just rambling, just an idea. There's so many things we could do. It's just thinking like, who do we know right now that would benefit from this? Do you guys feel like you have people that are not enrolled that would find this beneficial more than a class or more than a Facebook party? Robin said, yeah.
Right? I know like this one girl specifically I was just talking about, she's young like us, and it blows my mind that she's not on Facebook, but there's all kinds of people that are just not into Facebook, don't want to follow it, don't know what the notifications are, and that will check their email. So
the generation kind of like below us, I forgot what that's called, they're more on Instagram. I've also seen private Instagram like team accounts, which is kind of cool.
Sorry, you meant young like you guys, not like me.
Whatever, a generation below us. People born in like the 90s and 2000s, or like later 90s, I guess. Cool.
How are people born in 2000s in their 20s? That's wrong.
Hey, I have a 24-year-old daughter, so.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, even more ways for us to resonate with many different people, right, from all over, different walks of life. Hi. Okay. Okay, guys, well, let's keep this conversation going. I think that's a great idea. Let's just record the videos next week as we can, as generically as we can, and save them and then put them in that team design folder, and we'll kind of like reevaluate, maybe even like next week on the team call for the week after. Okay, awesome. Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. That Flodesk promotion code to get it for 19 bucks is in the business group. Okay, or team message me as well. Yes, totally. Hey, Monica, thanks for being here. It's probably a lot to take in, but that's all right. You got a head start. Okay, have an awesome day, you guys. Good to see you. See you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. See ya.